45 seconds total. Let me get you. Stop.
48 hours ago, Brandon High School's football field was a snowball. And that's Davison's athletic director, Dave Beamer, that you see with the help of his friends and volunteer work to get this field suited up and ready for a regional final football game, the MHSAA Division I regional final contest between the Davison Cardinals and the Utica Eisenhower Eagles. Hi, folks. Thanks for tuning in on DTV channel 191 and on our live YouTube stream at DTV_official. Chris Jared with you, my broadcast partner, John Gerke tonight. And John, two very talented teams as the Cardinals try to capture their first regional final since 2008. And they've got a very talented Eisenhower Eagles team in front of them. You look at the track record of the Eagles to get to this spot. A lot of familiar names, teams that they've had to defeat to get to this spot. Last week, a win over Lake Orion, 27-20. The Eagles turned it over 4 times, but they were able to still hang on due to some tough defense and win that ball game. For the Cardinals, it was a really gritty rematch that was high anticipated in the state, a rematch against where the first time that the Lightning of Lapeer and the Cardinals met was in the regular season finale at Cardinal Stadium, a double overtime thriller where the Lightning won 24-21. The rematch fell in the Cardinals' favor, 42-21 final to send Davison to the regional final. John, you look at some of these storylines of this game. The Cardinals' offense, we've talked about it all season. The defense as well kept them in this ball game, and it just limited Lapeer to 21 points last week. What are you excited about to watch tonight for Davison?
I'm excited to see Brendan Sullivan try to get that passing game going for us. We are going against a very tough team. They haven't missed the playoffs since 2013, and they haven't even had a losing record throughout a season since 1984.
Man, and that's all due to the head coach of Chris Smith on top of the Eagles to get his team back to the regional final game as they look to do it against the Cardinals. This is actually a home game. The Cardinals hosting this regional final game, but Cardinal Stadium not suitable to play in, and the B in the middle of the field is in Brandon High School live in Ortonville as we're sub 30 degrees set for kick. Cardinals going from right to left, and the Eagles in their road white uniforms with Eisenhower written across the chest. Cardinals in their gold tops and bottoms and will receive to start this ball game. It's going to be fielded at about the 1-yard line. Little fake reverse for the Cardinals, and there's some room on the left side of the field on the near sideline. Jalen Flowers, the return man for the Cardinals, stays on his feet, broken up at about the 45-yard line. They're going to spot him. John, great starting position for a man that was very active in last week's win against Lapeer.
Yeah, that was a great return by Jalen Flowers right there. He had a huge week last week, had a pick 6 to ice the game against Lapeer. What a great start for the Cardinals so far.
One great starting position to get Brendan Sullivan and this high-powered Cardinal offense going. Talking about Jalen Murray Flowers, he will play offensively as well. As John had mentioned, 1 pick 6. That really iced it against the Lightning. Another interception that started the second half, and that led to a Cardinal touchdown. So certainly made a difference as he batted that pick 6 to Pasco as well. Cardinals starting at the 45. They give it to Smith immediately outside on the edge. Caleb Smith staying on his feet, gets the first down and more. Knocked out of bounds at about the 35-yard line, and the Cardinals, John, moving very quickly off the go.
Yeah, Caleb Smith can do it all. He's a very big rushing back. He can catch the ball, too, and he has 3 kickoff returns on the season going back to back to back, weeks 2 through 4 on opening kickoffs. He's a multi-dimensional player that's huge for the Cardinals.
Utica Eisenhower blanked Rochester Adams in the first game, week 10, to start the playoffs 24-0. So this is a talented defense, but the Cardinals continuing to work their way down the field on their opening drive. About 30 seconds have gone by, and a great kick return by Jalen Murray Flowers to get it to the 45-yard line. And then now the Cardinals well in Eagles territory, set up at about the 31-yard line for second down. Sullivan with a receiver far split out to the left. That's Fordham, but again they go to Smith. Shaking a tackle, stays on his feet now in the secondary. Caleb Smith gains another first down for Davison. He's spun down just past the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Cardinals are having success on the ground so far. I'd love to see Sullivan pull that back from Caleb in the play action and try to find a wide open Latrell in the end zone.
I feel it is, we should say that we're nice and warm for this week. Last week at Lapeer, I was with Mason Polmantier, and we were on top of the Lightning's press box. It was a chilly one as the Cardinals continue to work their way down the field. John, just pretty simple, going right through the middle of the Eagles' defense, and they continue to work their way down the field. A good chunk there on first down to make it second and manageable.
Yeah, like you said, it's way more comfortable conditions here. A little more heated up and a little more comfortable for today.
Caleb Smith going to head off and get a breath, as he certainly deserves one. They've gone to Smith, the senior. Sullivan keeps it on the left side, lowers his shoulder to try to clear the 20 or the 15 rather, maybe give him a yard. And that's going to force an early third down for the Cardinals. They move down the field and into Eagle territory pretty effortlessly, but now they've got a third down situation.
Cardinals going at it 3rd and short here. The run has been working, so why not run it right up the middle of Caleb Smith again?
3rd down and short. It's 3 yards to gain. Carter Kreideman in the backfield as Caleb Smith on the sideline to get a breather. Logan Pasco in the backfield as well with Sullivan. They load up the left side of the line as Unger and Pasco now to the right. Watch it heading that direction. Sullivan the give to Kreiderman, tries to work his way through the middle and rip down past the 15-yard line. Maybe the 14. It's going to be mere inches. John, and I like Jake Weingart's going for this here to rely on his Cardinal offense to get just mere inches for the first down.
Yeah, I agree with the decision. The run game has been working. They got a lucky stop right there. Hopefully you can get the first down right here.
A little bit over 2 minutes have gone by as the Cardinals have worked quickly to threaten the Eagles early in the first quarter. High-powered offense that at most was 44 against Warren Casino in week 2 after falling to Brother Rice 7-0. That surprised a lot of people. I know it's week 1, but you know that Flint Kersley in the first week of their postseason play defeated Brother Rice. 4th down and 1. Cardinals load up the line, and that's Pasco who takes it right through the middle, and I think the Eagles think that they stuffed him at the line. Officials saying that it's going to be a turnover as the Cardinals get stood up on 4th and short. And you see there, John, there was no Brennan Sullivan. It was just right to Pasco, and the Cardinals try to go big on big, and they got stood up.
Yeah, the Cardinals love that Wildcat offensive set on the field. That's how they had a lot of success versus Romeo in scoring in the red zone. Hopefully more success to the future with that.
And so the Cardinals put their defense out on the field now as the Eagles, despite giving up a lot of territory, their defense comes through on 4th and short. Not the greatest starting point, though, at the 13, 1st and 10. Eagles, more of an option offense as the Cardinal fans make some noise here. They've come out, not too far of a drive from Davison, but certainly not Cardinal Stadium. Man in motion and the give up the middle. And the Cardinals there, as it looks, is to be Harry Unger right on the spot. And John Unger the entire year has been spectacular for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's been a great pass rusher and a run stopper for the Cardinals defense. I'm looking forward to seeing Logan Pasco right here, in potentially his last high school game of his career. He's came in clutch the past 2 playoff games with back-to-back picks, and last week's versus Lapeer was a pick 6.
Yeah. Took it to the house, and with some assists from Jalen Murray Flowers as well, who was able to keep it alive, kind of Chuck Woodson style, and just bat it to Pasco, who took it to the house. 2nd and 7 after the Eagles gain a short on 1st down. They're going to throw here right side on the near sideline. Catch is complete as Aiden Ives on the edge. John, they just kind of brought him in motion and was open in the flat.
Yeah, Eisenhower trying to use that speed to the edge there. Cardinals are a little too quick, and we're able to force him out of bounds.
And so the Eagles move their chains. On 1st down, ran it for 3 yards, and then right there over the middle enough to get the line to gain that was just shy of the 25. And that's where they've got it now, 1st and 10. Cardinals have played every single game of the postseason here on the road. This one kind of feels like a road game despite the Cardinals being the home team. Here's 1st and 10 with 8:38 to play in the first quarter. Man in motion. And quarterback this time right up the middle. The Cardinals are there, maybe a few yards there, John, on 1st down to make 2nd and long. Well, you talk about Logan Pasco, potentially his last game, a really talented senior class, but the Cardinals with a lot to be excited about next year as Brennan Sullivan receiving Mr. Football votes, just a junior, but a heavy load of seniors that the Cardinals have. But you look at guys, Harry Unger back next year, Jalen Murray Flowers back as well.
Very big talented bunch for the Cardinals.
Man in motion is Ives again, and the Eagles looking to throw. They sail it in the air, and it's caught. Jata with it, and he's got nobody in front of him, and the Eagles on the scoreboard first.
Looked like a total breakdown for the Cardinals secondary right there as they ended up getting pressure on the quarterback, but wide open down the middle. He was able to turn it upfield for the touchdown there for Eisenhower.
Looked like it was just fluttered in the air to Jata, and he was in the area to come down with it, and as you mentioned, no one was there.
Unfortunate for the Cardinals defense right there.
And so the Eagles, with a long strike over the middle, as John mentions, look to be a defensive breakdown that puts the Eagles on the scoreboard first with just under 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cardinals couldn't have started this game more in their favor with a great return. Kick is up and splits the uprights. Eagles in front 7-0 early, and the Cardinal offense, John, a really good drive the last time out. Started at their own 45-yard line after an impressive return. And a couple of Caleb Smith runs to move into Eagle territory, but then on 4th and short got stood up and put your defense out on the field, a defense that you've trusted all year.
Yeah, very unfortunate turn of events for the Cardinals not to get points on the board there after such a great start to the game for them. Hopefully we'll see more of the passing offense here. Have Brent Sullivan throw the ball out, try to work the sidelines to his receivers, who are very talented as well. And hopefully the Cardinals can tie it up.
Cardinals more of a second-half team against Lapeer. I mean, they were able to find on their second drive the end zone after the Lightning on their first possession, a couple of big plays, and it tested the Cardinals' adversity in the same situation here in the regional final. Last time that the Cardinals have been in this situation was back in 2008, and that 2008 team that went all the way to Spartan Stadium fell in that heartbreaker that was against Muskegon, 38-35. But they got the regional final win. That was on the road at Midland. 25-19 was the final after winning the district title against Flushing, three-score fashion, rather, but a tight one against Midland. Over a decade, John, the Cardinals trying to do what they haven't been since 08, and in a really good position tonight, but they find themselves down 7-0 early. And so the Cardinal offense back out on the field, and they will get the football back. It's kind of hard because you've got to find that. I mean, it was a good first drive despite getting stood up on 4th and short, deep in Eagles territory. You did a lot of things right, but it still feels like you're back at square one, and you have to hit the reset button here.
Yeah, hopefully the Cardinals can answer another kickoff return with some yardage here to put them in good field position as it gets muffed by the kick returner.
And it dropped on the turf, and it's returned. And now look at this on the near sideline, still on their feet. Past the 40-yard line, past midfield now. This might be 6. Down to the 25 and edged out of bounds just in front of the 20. A big return for the Cardinals.
What a crazy turn of events there. A fumble, as soon as he caught it, he muffed the kick return, and he somehow turns it into a magnificent return to about the 25.
And so for the Cardinals, back-to-back kick returns that set themselves up nicely. Of course, this one far and away better than where they had it on their first at their own 45. But now at the Eagles' 21-yard line, and with a big gust of momentum trying to tie this ball game. 7:35 in the first quarter. And it's Terry on the near sideline, on the far rather. Smith on the outside, stays on his feet. Finally, Eagles defensively get there, just shy of the 15-yard line, but a steady gain on first down. 7:20 and rolling in the first quarter as the Cardinals, their first time out defensively, they give up the opening touchdown. You look at the Lapeer ball game, that's exactly what happened against the Lightning on the road. A couple of big passing plays for the Lightning, and it set themselves up nicely. But, John, against the Lightning, Davison did a great job when the Lapeer Lightning football team driving down the field, threatening in Cardinal territory, but a couple of huge stops inside the red zone defensively. They're going to need that tonight from their defense. Give up the middle again is to Kreiderman. Moves the pile past the 15. And what looked like could have been nothing in a positive yards there, it's going to be 3rd and short. This is where the Cardinals, on their previous drive, it was 3rd and short, and then 4th and 1. Failed to convert. Feels like they're right back in the same situation. Right around the same area as well at the 13. That's where the Cardinals were stood up.
Yeah, hopefully the Cardinals don't repeat the same story as their last offensive drives and turn this end zone look, turn this red zone look into points this time.
And so Sullivan with Kreiderman in the backfield, loading up the line. Give up the middle is to Kreiderman. Into the secondary, brought down past the 5-yard line. And